there's a Krenko, big fan of that card. And unfortunately for Danny Goldstein, Dustin Shiles, I believe, is up a game here with Punishing Jund.
Yep. Punishing Jund's not a, probably not the best matchup for your little red friends.
So, this was a matchup initially that I thought was really bad for Goblins, but it's not as bad as I thought it was if we know how to play the matchup.
Okay.
Learned a lot about that when I watched Max Teeds beat this deck in the finals of a Legacy Open a couple years ago.
Against Brian Eason, I believe.
Yes. The trick is you have to, one, not use your Wastelands on pretty much anything but Groves.
Sure.
Unless you're, like, positive that's correct.
Right.
You know? You have to save those for Groves for the most part, and you really just have to kind of exhaust and overwhelm them. I think the difficult thing here for Danny is that he doesn't have a card like Tarfire in his deck to stop Deathrite Shaman or Dark Confidant.
Oh,
so
okay.
if those cards get in, he has to actually build creatures up and then Gem Palm Incinerator them.
Right.
So not having the spot removal for those cards, and those cards can obviously run away with the game. We've seen him do it before. I think that's probably going to be the bigger issue. Now, he does have a Tarfire in his sideboard that he can bring in. He also has a Scrapper, Relic. Relic's actually really good against this deck. 2 Thorn of Amethyst, a Surgical Extraction, a Elemental Blast, a Pyroblast, a Goblin Pyromancer, a Stink Scourger, 3 Pyrokinesis, then 2 copies of Blood Moon. Blood Moon also really good against
Yes,
this deck.
definitely.
So he's definitely got some nice options available to him.
Okay. Now, he does have a big hurdle coming out of the board for Dustin Shiles. Dustin Shiles gets to bring in Engineered Plague.
Why is that card in his sideboard?
Well, there are decks.
Why?
There are decks in this format, Cedric. They're theme decks, you see. They look at the creature types of the creatures they play, and they make sure they all match. It's a flavor thing. Some people care about flavor, Cedric.
I'm actually mad that that's in his sideboard.
Yeah, it's coming. He has 2 of them. He has access to 2 Engineered Plague, 1 Golgari Charm, and 1 Umezawa's Jitte out of the board. I believe those are the 4 that would come in here. 3 Duress, 2 Ancient Grudge, 2 Surgical Extraction, 1 Grafting Scage, 1 Maelstrom Pulse, 1 Phyrexian Revoker. Actually, that one probably comes in. Revoker's probably very good here.
I am fine with having Charm on the board. Charm is a nightmare for Goblins, but Charm is versatile. Charm is good against a whole bunch of decks and has 3 modes. Engineered Plague, which I don't know if you do this, I look at deck lists all the time when I'm here in the booth, and I always check to see if they do have Engineered Plague in them, just in case I do get to play in a tournament ever again, and see if that card's on people's radar. And I haven't seen Engineered Plague in someone's sideboard in like 4 months.
Thank you, Danny Goldstein, for at least keeping things balanced, for coming along and keeping me and Cedric in check.
He is going to get annihilated by Engineered Plague. This is not cool.
What are you talking about? Talking about Golgari Charm is versatile, but Engineered Plague engine. Engineered Plague stops all kinds of things. Humans, kobolds,
Yep.
other stuff.
Elves-ish.
Elves is the big one, of course. And I think Elves is the reason, of course, that Engineered Plague is seeing the resurgence that it does, because Elves has seen a resurgence as well.
Now, Danny Goldstein does have 2 copies of Goblin Chieftain, the Trump.
Oh, there we go.
The Trump card to
There we
Engineered
go.
Plague, so
Danny's
he has
ready.
the answer. And there's probably no way the Jund deck could kill a creature, so
No.
Chieftain will probably run away with it.
I'm rooting for the Chieftain, to be fair.
Yeah. Here's a mountain, there's Vile. Best start you could possibly have, so that's good. And for those wondering at home, yes, it's better than Lackey, because Lackey does not get through anymore.
But because of that lightning bolt.
I mean, because of Lightning Bolt, because of Deathrite Shaman's existence, there are many reasons.
Oh, wow. Deathrite Shaman versus Goblin Lackey. There's a matchup I hadn't thought about.
Are you serious?
It just hadn't occurred to me how far the Lackey had fallen until just this moment.
It's horrible.
I don't think about Goblin Lackey as much as you do, Cedric.
That's true. It's really bad now. It's kind of sad. Here's a basic forest.
Is there an argument for just not playing Lackey?
I cut it a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Look at me with that Goblin player's
It's
intuition.
actually a good sideboard card,
Okay, sure.
which is a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah.
But it's good against combo.
Okay, yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But it's bad against like the fair
This.
decks of the format.
Against this thing that is happening.
But
yes.
Goblins was the deck that's supposed to beat the fair decks of the format.
Yeah.
So you have to change it up a little bit. That's all.
There's a surgical extraction.
I like
from
that.
Danny.
That'll take care of punishing fire.
Okay, so we're ready.
Danny gonna put a die on top of his library. Make sure he doesn't forget Vile. It does have a port here. But you know, this is part of the reason that like a card like Tarfire is actually really important, like now in Goblins, because you have to like before your plan was okay, you know, I'm on the play, I'll play a Vile, then I'll port them down, and then I'm good to go.
Right.
But Deathrite Shaman destroys that.
Yep.
Absolutely annihilates it.
As we're kind of seeing it do, although there is not currently a sack land in the graveyard, although I do spot a Bloodstained Mire there.
He'll
So.
take care of it.
So, yeah. No care about a port. Oh, I see it. Do you see it? I see it. Do you see it there?
I'm not gonna respond to that comment.
I'm talking about lightning bolt.
I know that's what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Not the gigantic Engineered Plague that Danny can't beat.
Yep. Yeah. Dustin sitting with Engineered Plague in hand. Can't currently cast it. Thanks, Rich and Import. Doing work. Buying Danny time to get that Goblin Chieftain.
You're right. You're right.
It's all coming together.
Valuable time as a Cavern of Souls.
So there's what? Ringleader and lands? Actually, is that what we're working with here?
It's actually a Mock War Marshal.
Oh, okay.
You need to work on your Goblin artwork.
No, I thought it was the. Well, I've been playing a lot of Vintage Masters, and that looks a lot like the Vintage Masters Goblin
All right,
Ringleader.
I give it to you. I apologize on air.
I don't
Fake
know. I don't know
apology.
what set that is from. The original art. I believe it is from maybe like the dual deck Goblins versus Elves. I don't know. It's a wonky looking Ringleader. It's not the Ringleader I know.
Now, beating Plague isn't impossible. It's just, really hard.
Sure. Does Danny have a way to get it off the board?
No.
No, sure doesn't.
No. That's not a thing that's going to happen.
Okay.
And it does take down a lot of the cards in the old Goblin deck, so.
Chieftain or bust, right?
Yeah, Chieftain, War Chief, Pile Driver.
Let's get four pile drivers
there
to
is
play. That's a thing, right?
Goblin Rabble Masters are in here. That's a brand new one.
Look at that.
M15 having an impact.
M15, what up?
Way to weave your way into the Goblin deck.
Yeah.
Good for you, Mr. Rabble Master.
Doesn't do much against Engineered Plague, I'll tell you that much.
That's not great. It's not great. Shiles is going to play a Grove of the Burn Willows. He's going to confidently activate his Deathrite Shaman.
I have some bad news, Danny Goldstein.
Going to calmly tap those 2 lands. And it's an embarrassment of riches for Dustin. There is Engineered Plague. What do you think? Can we actually get confirmation of what he's naming from the spotter?
See, luckily,
he's going with Goblins.
it is in fact Goblin.
Yeah.
Luckily, Dustin Shiles playing an Urza Saga Engineered Plague. If you're playing by the flavor rules, you're only allowed to name Lizard or Goblin with an Urza Saga Engineered Plague.
Really?
That's what's on the card.
I think those are actually goblins, not lizards.
No, the one in the middle is a lizard.
No. What we're going to do for you right now, Andrew, we're actually going to bring up Engineered Plague. We're going to let you take a look, and I'm almost positive it references goblins in the flavor text.
Look at the one in the middle is clearly a lizard.
Why would lizards hang out with goblins?
No, that was the thing. The Shiv or whatever, they had the old Thran thing that they lived in, and the goblins were like their lackeys. That's literally what a goblin lackey is. It's like the slave of these lizard people that lived in the Shivan Mountains. I didn't read any of the books or anything, but this is the impression I got when I was a kid playing with Urza Saga cards.
I'm actually kind of coming around.
I would love for someone to chime in and actually let me know how close I am to accurate.
I'm coming around
because I have a feeling
right.
about that one.
I'm coming around to you being right.
Yeah, because there's there was one of those random bad goblin commons that actually it was like goblin duct crawler or something like that, and the picture was him climbing through the doing Mission Impossible stuff. It was crazy.
All right, I actually think I'm not willing to concede the point yet. I'm going to wait for Twitter.
Yeah.
Not willing to concede yet. There's
back
a
me up on
chance
this,
that
guys.
could be a lizard.
That is obviously a lizard.
There's nothing obvious about it.
For a man who plays goblins, you don't know much about what goblins look like. I'll tell you that much.
Well, that's because when they come into play right now, they all die.
Fair enough.
Not really get a good look at them.
We're just completely off the reservation here, just rambling on about the art of Engineered Plague. That's what Engineered Plague does to a game against goblins.
Yeah, it makes it not interactive and not fun.
The game's actually over. It's just going to take several more turns now.
I mean, it takes quite the series of events, and losing the vial here actually stinks too, because then you can try to play a more unfair game by porting and wastelanding and trying to contain the mana, but that's not even going to work now either. So. Deathrite Shaman is going to actually come in after Vial is taken care of via Abrupt Decay. Pass the turn back over to Goldstein.
I love it. Rumble for 1.
Got to show him who the boss is. It's Viashino.
Okay, Viashino, not the... Yeah, they're right. And they had goblin people, right? Was that a thing? They had little goblin slaves that did their dirty work and stuff?
That sounds correct. That actually does sound correct.
Yeah.
Sounds correct. Good on you.
Boom.
Good on you.
Flavor judged.
Danny did draw a copy of Goblin War Chief, which will be a 1/1 right now. There's a Surgical Extraction in his hand. Not a lot of great targets for that, so he's just going to pass the turn back. Probably going to double port here. Going to shoot down the green mana. Or passing the turn back.
So we see a lot of removal in Dustin's hand.
Yes.
Removal that he does not need in the slightest. Is there a threat there?
There's a Bloodbraid Elf at the very end.
Okay.
But he is not able to cast that just yet. So here's an attack for 1. Dustin's going to put Danny down to 18. We'll see what he wants to add to the board. I think he may have another copy of Death Threat. Yes, he does.
The old Squire beatdowns. There was a War Chief drawn, right?
Yeah, he had the War Chief and he opted not to cast it.
Just would rather be porting.
I imagine there's a larger plan at work here. There's a Cavern of Souls.
Okay. The larger plan at work here, what, draw a lot of running X2s?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you get the opportunity to maybe catch Shiles off guard, for example. Like right now he's tapped out.
Right.
So if you're able to put together a combination of like War Chief and like 2 pile drivers or something,
okay,
you get a bunch of damage through.
Okay.
Again, it's real hard. Like, but having a naked War Chief in play doesn't do anything.
Right.
You know, because either Shiles is just going to say, all right, I won't attack with the Death Right Shaman, your creature can't attack, or all right, I'll bolt it. You know, you have to, in a situation like this, you have to try to lull your opponent in some sort of mega trap.
Right. You actually have to overcome individually each removal spell in his hand, as well as get the very obscure combination of threats that are still relevant. Let's do the roll call here. What goblins exist in Danny's list right now that he can actually keep in play?
Goblin Pile Driver times 4, War Chief times 4, that's 8. Rabble Master is 9 and 10. Chieftain is 10 and 11. Ringleader is, we're up to 15. Krenko's 16.
Okay. Well, that's not so bad.
That's so many.
Yeah.
That's so many goblins.
Here's what I actually have no idea what this card is. What is Goblin Chirurgeon?
I believe that is the Chirurgeon.
Yeah, what is that? You have any idea?
It generates goblins.
Oh. Okay.
Duh.
Fair enough.
Duh.
You definitely hesitated there. You had to. You were not confident about that.
Duh.
All right. Fair.
Here's a Bloodbraid Outfit. Revealed a Maelstrom Pulse, which has nothing to kill. There it is.
There we go.
Sack a Goblin to reach. That one counts.
Hey,
that
there
one
we go. All right. We can keep it in
I actually
play.
didn't know it was an O2.
That one's actually pretty good here, right? If you get it in addition to, like, once you keep it, you can start keeping whatever, you know?
Yeah, you can sacrifice that to save another one.
Yeah. Oh, you sacrifice goblins. I was thinking it was like a Sylvan Safekeeper type thing.
That would be actually good.
Yeah. I was like, why don't people play more of this card? It's like one of those situations where people just literally don't know this card exists.
Yeah. I mean, that card's super old. Triple port, but there's a Bloodbraid Elf in play. Here's the thing, like, for Danny, I mean, chances are he's just probably drawing cards that aren't doing anything, but he has to, actually do something. He's just going to die to these things. So, porting is obviously great, but if he doesn't actually do anything, he's just going to die.
Yeah, Dustin did get on the board despite all those Rich and Imports.
Yeah.
And the Bloodbraid Elf clock, it's a real thing. I mean, Danny has, what, 3 turns at most, considering the possibilities of bolt your face, exile the bolt with Death Right Shaman, all that noise.
Attack for 4, Goldstein's going to go down to 11.
And a casual pass. Hand of, I know Bolt and Punishing Fire. I'm not sure what the other card is. I think it might be a second Bolt, actually.
I think it might be another, I think it's a second Bloodbraid Elf. I'm not positive,
Okay.
But either way, Deathright's just going to get to work on the end step. Goldstein's going to draw a card for the turn.
Yeah. Danny's actually dead, right? So just end step Bolt activate. He falls to 6, and then untap Punishing Fire attack.
We might only have one more turn in this game.
Yeah.
Of course, Dustin needs to do those things, but we might only have one more turn in this game.
What Danny needs to draw is Goblin Chirurgeon. How do you pronounce it? Is it literally just pronounced surgeon?
It's like surgeon, but it's chirurgeon.
Is it like Chirurgeon,
Chirurgeon.
but it's in Goblinese?
Yes. Hanging out with the Viashino.
Exactly.
Here's a surgical extraction. You got to remove abrupt decays in response to the Death Right Shaman activation. Danny is not thrilled to see a hand of 3 spells.
Yeah.
Nor would I be.
No.
Oh, look, another engineered play. Just take that out, too.
So what did he extracted Abrupt Decay?
Yeah. In response to the Death Right Shaman activation.
Oh, sure. Okay, all right. Look at that, buying a turn.
I'm just saying.
Is he buying a turn? He actually isn't, is he? He's still
No,
not.
because he had to pay 2.
Yeah, he's still not. All right.
So there go abrupt decays. There's surgical.
I like that. Pay 2 to stop from taking 2.
Look, here's the
It's
thing.
like, I'm going to take 2 on my turn.
You got to let him know where you stand.
Yeah.
I think that's important in life.
And Dustin counting it up.
It's going to get a Bayou.
Maybe he just doesesn't have access to a red source that he can fetch off.
Yeah, it depends on what the fetch line is. I saw a Badlands. Looking at his deck list.
Right? He does.
Yeah, you have it in front of you. I'm pretty sure he has a Badlands.
He does have 2 Badlands.
I'm a little surprised not to see him just get the Badlands and bolt him.
That is odd.
I'm not entirely sure it matters.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
I'm a little bit surprised not to see that play.
I mean, the only other 2 red sources he has access to actually give him some life, give Danny life. So, giving away those crucial draw steps. Here, I'm using the term crucial a little lightly here, but
Ish.
Yeah.
Ish. So if he does activate both, if he does use both the Groves for Punishing Fire and Lightning Bolt, go up a little bit. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. So, going to gain 1 up to, he goes down to 6 now. Yeah, so he went up to 8, down to 6 from the Punishing Fire. Bloodbraid Elf is going to put him down to 3. 2 Deathrite Shamans is going to finish
actually
the game
just
off.
still dead.
Yeah, it's still dead.
You do have to exile your own Punishing Fire.
You know, you're right about that. That is, geez, that's tough.
Probably better just not do it. I mean, just to be safe.
Yeah. I'm a little bit confused why those other lands are tapped now.
Go for another Bloodbraid. Oh, that's a much easier way to do it, actually.
Well, that's fine. Like I don't know if he So, Danny Dustin used those red lands to cast his spells.
Yeah.
And he cast a bolt. He cast a bolt and a Punishing Fire, and now the other 2 black lands are tapped, but he didn't use them for mana.
Huh.
So I thought he maybe was porting the Groves, and he's not. But again, I don't think it matters.
I know. How many times can we say I don't think it matters in the one game? This is the. You know what? I'm sick of Engineered Plague 2 at this point. I'm on your side.
I'm not. I'm just sad.
Aw.
I'm not sick of it. I'm just sad.
Dustin Shiles, you made Cedric sad.
We're at 2.
I don't think he cares.
Deathrite, just finish this off. Nope. Pyrokinesis says I will continue to play on.
Nice.
A free spell.
So it's not actually a 2. There we go. Okay. All right, we're in it. We're in it.
Are we?
You gotta believe.
Are
Cedric.
we?
You gotta believe.
You have to believe.
Yeah,
that's what you have to do.
exactly.
Yeah. See what Danny draws this turn.
I've been trying to construct some sequence of cards that gets Danny back in this.
Yeah. First of all, I think Dustin would have to draw a land every turn of the game.
Oh, that's a given. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. First,
That's already in your equation?
Yes.
Okay.
We have to. Oh God, I don't know. We have to get rid. We have to either get rid of the Groves or get rid of the Punishing Fire somehow.
Right. Okay.
So I think maybe we needed to bait him into Deathrite Shaman to exile the Punishing Fire and then kill the Deathrite Shaman. Dustin Shiles needs to hit running Verdant Catacombs and then on to various other lesser lands. And then Danny, I guess, needs to find what, Pile Driver, Chieftain Pile Driver consecutively or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. These 2 War Chiefs are a start.
Boom.
Even though they can't attack, they are a start. Here is a Deathrite Shaman activation.
Oh, is he doing it? No, he has a bolt in there.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a Pyrokinesis up there at Danny's graveyard. So enough spells to actually put the kibosh on things. I said that, actually. If Dustin gets rid of the Pyrokinesis with the next activation, or no, because he has to pay 2. He needs a black mana, actually a land that does it. It's a long shot, I'll tell you that.
That's exactly what it is, yeah. See if Dustin wants to cast this with Bloodbraid Elf that he has in his hand. Also, the other card, I'm not quite sure what it is.
I think it's just a land. It looked like a fetch land. A Verdant Catacomb. Actually, it looked like Verdant Catacomb.
Step 1.
But that may be because I might be projecting here. I maybe just want
It's a Dark Confidant.
Oh, okay.
This is a Bloodbraid Elf. That's a Dark Confidant. That's going to come into play.
Oh, okay.
Shiles considering attacking here. Not sure there's a reason not to attack.
I mean, goblins have haste, man. All of
They
them
do.
at this point. You don't know what could come out of Danny's deck.
Well,
He's playing goblin
actually-
Chernobyls or whatever they're called.
Chernobyls?
Whatever.
Chernobyls, huh? Welcome to the Star City Open Series here in Russia.
Yeah.
And that is going to do it. Dustin Shiles is going to win this match over Danny Goldstein. 2-0. Punishing Jun moves on to 7-1. Engineered Plague, thanks so much. You are a sheer delight.